work, we will have to skip a few examples, but we can cover this part.
Co? Chceš nás to hoď? No počkej, že tady není vevnitř.
Je vzadu.
To jo, ale to není na stranu. Jakože tam to... Jo? Aha. Ale já tady nemám tu kameru, co bylo to? Jo, aha, nemám. Chcem to riskovat. No, není třeba.
Tak vydrží to?
No, vydrží to. Tak to tam je to, tam je šroub. Lukáš, take your laptop and connect to wired network. Aha, jenže to je vybitý. Asi.
Tak až na to začneme.
Prostě. Jak se to vypíná?
Nevím, vypíná se to.
Dobre.
So information for newcomers, if possible, please connect to the switch that is in the center of the room to the wired network, because there is a possibility that the firewall on the Wi-Fi connection is too strict for you to deploy your own DNS server.
Could someone confirm that the DHCP is working on the wired network? Can you access internet from it? No. That's bad. Zdravím, zdá se, že dáte adresy na ty výsledky komunity, na ty výsledky. Nevím, to adresy je nějaký problém. Nikomu. We have some problems in network, but we'll sort it out in meanwhile. So, welcome to dnssec workshop. I'm Petr Špaček, this is my colleague Tomáš Hozza, and we joined our forces to give you some real hands-on experience with DNS and dnssec. Hopefully the network will start working. We'll start with configuring some plain DNS zone, and then we will look to the different ways how to configure dnssec and how to secure DNS with dnssec. this is really a workshop, so if you don't have these packages installed, do that if you can. And also, you will need port 53 open in your firewall. So it depends on your distribution, but basically you can see command for either a firewall summon or IP table. So please run these commands and make sure that the port is open. In meanwhile, I would like to thank to Brno University of Technology because they helped us a lot, or at least tried, even if the network doesn't work. And again, please don't run any DHCP server, BitTorrent, spanning tree protocol. Use the wide network only for this lab or workshop and nothing else. I hope that they didn't cut us because somebody managed to run the DHCP server in the first 10 minutes. So, hello. Have a seat and grab cable and connect your laptop to wide network because you may need that. And again, don't run BitTorrent, spam and so on for newcomers. So can you tell me if you have all these packages installed? Does somebody have a problem with installation? Just who has the package installed? I have. Okay, so
I think you can use the wireless network for installing them.
Yeah, the wide network will be necessary just for the workshop. For now, the DHCP wide network doesn't work, but the guy who is responsible for the network is on this way. So until we get to somewhere interesting parts, that will be working. Hello once again. Connect to the wide network, don't send spam, no BitTorrent, no DHCP server, and so on.
You should put a sign.
Yeah, maybe I should write it on door. Yeah.
Úplně první věc, zkuste si píknout ten naťaz do toho pojďto.
Wow. No, teď to adresuju skoro.
Takže spíš nějaký problém s tím switchem.
Yes, it should. Because LDNS is in RHEL 7. Because there's also Unbound, which requires LDNS.
Maybe in some older distributions it could be called just LDNS without the dash.
We need only the tool called drill from the LDNS utils. So you can find out which package provides such a binary and install that.
So. Proto prohodit. No. Yeah, for now it's better. Okay, guys, who has the packages installed? You mean on Wi-Fi or?
On the wire.
Yeah, don't care about wire network yet.
Well, I can't get it.
try that again. You can try to ping address test.defconf.cz. We will be using that all the time. This one. Yay. Tak ne,
Stěžoval si něco, dobrý, každopádně teda.
jo, tak už si jeden. Dobrý. Už je v pohodě.
Že IPv6?
Ne, je tady 4.
Okay.
Tam něco nějak je, ale popravdě 4.6 jsem vůbec neřešil.
Okay.
Jako něco tam je, ale teď slovy jako takhle nevím, co jak. Je tam nějaká jako podle mě normálně pevná adresa, autokonfigurace a tak dále, takže by to mělo v podstatě jet samo.
No, funguje to výborně.
Chceš se zeptat, jestli teda někomu to nejde do pacientu?
So, who is sure that his network is working on wire?
I think whose connection is not working.
On the wired network. Test.defconf.cz. Yeah, on the slide in the upper right corner if you want. Jakož to chodí, přepínám. Díky moc. Okay, let's move forward. We will sort missing packages on fly as we will need them. As a first step, we'll start with plain DNS zone without any security, and you will have a chance to configure your own DNS server and your own zone for every one of you. So, as a first step, we need to have unique name for every participant in the workshop. Please try name which is in form your Fedora account system nick .test.defconf.cz. Let me write it here. In my case, it would be Špaček because that's my Fedora account system nick. Then test.defconf.cz. Maybe I should somehow increase the font size. Okay, can you see it? So just change the first word to match your Fedora account system name. It just to prevent collision, so we can be sure that we don't step on each other. Does everyone have Fedora account system nick, or does everyone who knows which name to use? Okay, it seems that that's enough. So remember the name for a while. As a first step, we need to get the zone file, basically the database file which is used by the DNS server to serve the data. You can grab the example zone from this address, is test.defconf.cz/ and in this case fastnick is literally fastnick because we didn't know fastnick for everyone. .db. So please, I will download the file to the directory listed on the slide. You will probably have to be root to be able to write to that directory, so use su or sudo or something. I will do the same on my screen, so it doesn't matter. You can, if you know what you are doing, feel free to change it. We somehow assume in this workshop that you have seen DNS in your life already, but if you have struggled with some specific detail, don't hesitate to ask. We'll be happy to answer. And of course, if you think that we are spending too much time on some basic detail, tell us so we can move quicker if you feel that is necessary. When you have the file, Yeah. So, and in the file you downloaded, the only thing you need to change is the IP address at the last line. So replace that with the address which you have on your wired, on your Internet interface. So it should be some public IP address.
Preferably the one that you got assigned from the DHCP server.
So in my case, I can use IP-addr command to find the address somewhere. Let's add -4, so it lists only IPv4 addresses, and it's this one. Welcome and connect to the switch. Don't run BitTorrent, don't send spam, DHCP server, and so on. If you do, they will cut the whole subnetwork, so it will be end of the workshop.
So are you supposed to change the NSA record?
Only the IP address, and that's enough in that file.
That's enough.
That's enough in the file. But dynamic, and that's the file which was created by the widget command. So.
We should keep the name same of the file?
It doesn't matter, but you has to know what name it has. So
download the file and
remember how you name it.
So. Okay, so who downloaded the file successfully? Okay. Were you able to find the IP address of the file? I mean, your public IP address? Or does anybody have a problem with the wide network? Okay. Huh?
So you can't do this on a VM then if we have to use the IP address we got from the DHCP?
Well,
if you are running a VM, you have to configure it in such a way that it uses the hardware NIC and it get assigned the bridge the network and get assigned the public.
The next step is to make sure that the file is actually accessible to BIND daemon, which is running under username D. So you have to run the command change group named, as you can see on the slide. So, who has the server running? Okay, so we will wait a bit for a while. Sure.
Another server which is not my machine, not connected here, but somewhere on the internet. It's my server.
Okay, so does everyone have changed the group owner for the file. Okay, so let's proceed with the bind configuration. So bind configuration is located in etc/named.conf. So we need to configure the zone in bind's configuration. So use your favorite text editor.
Okay. Who has the server running? Just okay. It seems that almost everyone. So we'll continue. If you have some struggle, tell us right now so we can fix your configuration so you can follow the rest of the workshop and will not be lost. Definitely on the beginning. Who needs some help with the configuration? Okay, silence. That sounds good. So finally, you can test your configuration with the command on the last line of the slide. It will print a lot of information, but most importantly, you should see something like status no error, which indicates that the server is running, the name actually exists, so the configuration should be correct. Who has that? Can we continue? Perfect. So, you finally configured your first DNS zone on your first DNS server, but please note that the command has this parameter @localhost, which means that the dig command contacts the local server to ask for the DNS entries. Of course, in DNS it's never so easy, and you never ever should test against your local server. You always should try if the zone is reachable from the public internet, because the fact that it's reachable from your machine doesn't mean that it's reachable from anywhere else. So you can test that very easily by just deleting the @localhost part of the command, as you can see on the slide right here. We just deleted the @localhost command and the rest is unchanged. And if I run that, I will receive another result. Try that on your machine and you will see. I guess that you will get answer. Wow, sorry. You will get something like status NX domain, which is apparently no error, so something is wrong. Does anybody have any clue what's wrong? Why it doesn't work when we don't ask the local server but some random server on the public internet? Yeah, exactly. The problem is that in DNS you have hierarchy which starts on the top with DNS root, and the DNS root tells you how to reach the zones at lower level. So for example com, and the com says you how to reach the redhat.com and so on. But in this case we configured the zone on our local machine but didn't tell the parent how to reach the zone. So actually no machine except your own laptop knows about existence of the zone, so it cannot possibly work. So it's the right time to fix it. Basically, this step depends on the system you are using. If you have public DNS zone, the company which sold you the name will have some procedure how to add the record to their domain name system. But we will use the standard DNS protocol, so you can use the command nsupdate and add the delegation to your zone. So after that, it will be reachable from the public internet, and anybody will be able to reach your zone. By the way, it may be handy to have a copy of the slides. So I will jump back. If you go to the address test.devconf.cz with your web browser, it will give you slides right away in PDF file. So feel free to download slides and copy-paste some comments. It will be much easier and less error-prone. There is nothing else in the address, just test.devconf.cz. Great. So I will go back to the configuration. So the nsupdate command creates update packet which tells the server please add the delegation, which is the NS record in the second line, to the parent DNS zone, and also it tells the parent zone what is IP address of your machine, so the parent server actually knows how to reach you, because if you give it just the name, it will be useless, because without the IP address the name is meaningless. Okay, so I will do the same for my zone. Yeah, of course, the nsupdate command screams that the key is too short, because the key is literally key value, which is just 8 bytes, so you can't expect that it will be secure, because everybody can brute force in a minute on your cell phone. But for the workshop is fine, don't be worried by the message printed by nsupdate command. Don't forget to put the real public IP address to the command, otherwise it will not work.
You should have Špaček test there on this CZ.
What?
Test.
On the slide.
Right, so okay, that's right, I can type, apparently. There is always a test before that devconf, because, well, we shouldn't break the devconf website during the conference, so. If you type send and press enter, it shouldn't print any error. Silence is a good sign. So and so who managed to send and didn't receive any error? Okay, so we will wait a second.
So is anyone willing to tell us his fast nick so we can test it? If it's working?
Yeah.
And your credit card number and...
Let's write it here. That will be easiest. Feel free to come, because my spelling is bad as always. Okay, so test devconf.cz. Status no error. Great, it works. And also you can use this command and get the public IP address of the brave guy. So don't attack him, please. Sorry? I didn't understand the question, please.
Is it fine to just control D out of NS update?
Yeah, right. After sending, if it doesn't print any error, just press Control D or kill the process. It doesn't matter. It does nothing locally, so it's just user interface.
So is there anyone who did not update his records on the upstream server successfully? Okay.
Yeah, if you are done, ask your neighbor what's his nickname, exchange nicknames, and try to run command dig, the fast nickname, test, defconf, cz. It should work. It will be cross-checked, so we don't need to ask everybody for his nickname. We just ask the neighbor and use his nickname and the other way around. Okay, don't be shy. He probably doesn't bite everybody who is too close.
This is kind of pre-social event before the party. There was a problem one guy had. Don't forget to add the server test ns.defconf.cz line when you are doing ns update. Because otherwise it does not know to which server to send the update.
Yeah, it's back in Fedora package and the correct package is in updates testing, but it will take a while.
Yes? No. So what we did with these commands is that we added a new record into the upstream DNS server named testns.devconf.cz, and if someone comes and asks for your subdomain called fastnik.test.devconf.cz, the upstream server will tell the client to go and contact your machine, because your machine is responsible for records from your zone. So you delegated a subdomain to it. There was some question?
One more step. We found that something is missing in slides. When you open your named.conf file, there should be a line listen on any. By default, there is something like 127.001 or 2 or something. So replace that with any. That's the reason why it doesn't work when you try it from some other machine. Because the named daemon was listening just on the loopback interface, so it couldn't work. Okay, so these two lines, listen on any and allow query any, should be in the file. Apparently the bind maintainer, who is Tomáš, is too paranoid, so by default it refuses all queries for anybody except itself. Listen these two lines. Be careful, the line listen or and allow query don't need to be right next to each other, so just use find function in your text editor. Maybe it's on different line, not in this order and so on. So